Yo, 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 what up? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? This is Carvel Bailey coming to you live and direct from the Bless the Ball Studios here in Chicagoland, Illinois. We are back. We are back for season 2 of Life in Basketball. What is Life in Basketball? Well, this is where we talk about life and how it correlates with basketball. This season, I'm going to be doing it a little differently. We're going to be breaking some of the rules of what's normal, of what people expect, what's not expected. And so this year, we will be showcasing talents, be showcasing people, showcasing those that are important to me, that have helped me in my career. And again, this show is being sponsored by Western Skill Development Academy. We are a full year round skill development academy where we work on your physical, your mental, your emotional, your social, your spiritual, your psychological skills. And we use the vehicle of basketball to get you from one goal to the other. So that is what we do. So with no further ado, let's start the show. So as normal, as I normally do, we always, start the show. We basically have 3 points and we kind of talk about things that are going on. So what's hot in the news right now from a basketball standpoint, everybody is talking about the balls again, right? Not the basketball, but they're talking about Alonzo, D'Angelo, talking about Mr. Ball. And right now they've kind of shook up the world. They've shaken up the world with what they're doing because they have sparked a shoe war, a contract war. And right now with that contract war, like everybody's kind of talking about it back and forth, do he want to wear the, big baller brand shoes? Are they, worth wearing and all those type of things? Well, right now, as I was telling my wife, I think it's ingenious because what most people don't understand, especially the youth, what most people don't understand is that Jordan brand is actually owned by Nike. And so, where everybody wants to deal with Jordan brand is owned by Nike. So everything Jordan sells, and just think of the amounts of money that Jordan sells. Think of how much more money Phil Knight has. And so right now, what Big Baller Brand is doing is saying, okay, if we get a contract, we can have a contract, but we can have our own brand within your contract, be it Adidas, Under Armour, Nike. So whatever shoe contract that we go with, that will, we can have our own brand under your umbrella. And I just think it's ingenious because now what it also does is it allows for them to have a little bit more creativity. And then what Lonzo Ball did, he went out and he got MVP of the Summer League. He can basically write his own ticket. So, without further ado, my guest on show 1 of season 2 is my main man, my coaching colleague, my buddy, my brother, has held me accountable, known all around Chicagoland, great coach, great individual, Coach Diedrich Shannon. So I'm gonna bring him into the show. Coach, how you doing, man?
Yelling, bro.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself for the 1 or 2 people that might not know, even the people that may catch this on the replay. All right, for the 1 or 2 people that might not know, just give us a little bit about what you do, what you've done, who you are, basically.
Well, long time youth basketball coach. Been around the game a long time. Grew up in the city of Chicago. Moved out to the south suburbs my junior year in high school. Been out there ever since. Coached a little basketball at the Blue Island. Got my start at the Blue Island Rockets. Did a little AAU also with Illinois Select. Had my own program, Illinois Hoopers Only, for a while there. And then I was a long-time coach, or not long-time coach, 9-year coach over at Moraine Valley Community College, where we produced a couple players. We had a couple wars with Coach Bailey. We had a lot of fun there. So some of the guys that people might know, Rashawn Holmes, I coach, plays with the Philadelphia 7. Carrington Ward playing with the Oklahoma City D-League team. Big Dwight McCombs playing overseas now. We've had quite a bit of guys come through there and been pretty successful.
Okay, so you very bashful. You say you had a couple guys come through there. I heard you mention 2 guys that are affiliated with the NBA. One guy that is in the NBA, going to his 2nd year, correct?
Yep. Well, actually, it's third year now. Yep.
3rd year? Okay, so after the 3rd year, that rookie contract will be over, right? So now we're talking real money.
Yep, this is last year in that rookie deal.
Okay, and then you also have another player that's in the D League.
K Ward.
Okay. Now that's real big. But now, for the 2 players that you mentioned, I'm pretty sure it's like hundreds more that are just as successful, but might not be still playing basketball on a high level. Am I correct?
Plenty. Successful teachers, officers, man, I can go down the road. But
okay, and I know you also had another guy, because he played with one of my former players, a Globetrotter, right?
Yep, Saul Flip White plays on the Globetrotters.
Okay. So now, when you think about, and I'm gonna get back to the balls in a minute, but when you think about, the name of this show, Life in Basketball, and I know you and I, we talk all the time about it, because we laugh and say some coaches are able to just coach great players. Guys like me and you, we, kind of had to go deep down in the dirt to find that diamond in the rough. So we had to teach. But when we think about or talk about life in basketball, what does that mean to you?
And it means everything to me, just in my day-to-day life, man. Right now, I'm in a business. It's not especially something that I like to be doing. Not exactly my passion, but just the go-getter, the killer instinct that we've always learned since we were growing up, going up against each other and the top talent, man. It transfers to business, to life. Never back down, never quit. There's nothing anybody can throw at me that, is going to make me quit. We're going to get after it. And that's something that I think all of us learned growing up, battling out with each other, our mentors, the things that they put down in us. I played for the legendary Coach Cook over at CBS. I also played for legendary Coach Bob Frazier at Eisenhower. So, they pushed us. They challenged us. And they made us better men because of it.
Okay, and so the one word that I just heard you say, which was they challenged you. So, for those that are online with us, please type in the chat like challenge. Type in challenge, because we talk about life and we talk about basketball, coach. A lot of individuals will give up their dreams or their goals because it's challenging. Most people, I'm pretty sure that you've had people come to you and say, Coach, I want to go to the NBA. But then when you take them to Swallow Cliff at 6 a.m. to run them stairs, and it's a challenge, now they don't want to play for you no more. And so when we talk about being able to meet our goals and being able to reach the things that we want to reach in life, you have to be able to meet those challenges head on and get through those challenges. I mean, am I correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny. The other day, I was kind of in a moment of myself, not really understanding what I in the process of doing. Of course, it's a leap of faith for both of us and the place that we're in our life right now. But God always knows the word. And Rashawn Holmes actually posted on Twitter. Shout out to God Fan Basketball for pushing me to my limit in JUCO and putting that hunger in me. I ain't done eating yet. And a lot of people would say, pull out the talent or pull out whatever's in them. That talent was already in Rashawn. It was just a matter of digging down deep and getting him to see that what was already inside of him. And I think guys like you, guys like me, Coach V, we can go down the list. That's what I think we do a great job of, is pulling out what's inside of those guys already and challenging them to be better people.
Yeah, and I think that like that was big. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually saw that that post when you posted it, but I was blessed enough to see Rashawn Holmes before he even played a college game for you, because we actually played in Coach Lino's summer league, and you had him in the summer league. And, that was when we had our all-star team in Malcolm X, so, at that point we was rolling. And, the guy come in, and I vividly remember one day he came in late. I'm like, man, who this dude? Big, tall dude, goggles on. And you didn't let him play in a summer league game. And, like, I really think that set the tone, not only for your team, but it set the tone for him. A young man coming from high school, probably was able to, kind of do what he wanted to do. But I think those things kind of carry over now till, him being drafted with Okafor and with a few other people. And really, Joel Embiid and Okafor and, Holmes, he's really the one that has outlasted the other two. And I think because of those small things like that, you not letting him play for a summer league game because he showed up late. So again, when we talk about life in basketball, he didn't live to those standards or that discipline. If you're going to be a professional, part of that is being on time.
Absolutely. And he doesn't. He never backed down from that, though. That's the one big thing that we can't leave out. A lot of kids will come down on and they looking to transfer. They looking to leave because you did something like that, man. But he had great parents behind him. They pushed him to be better. They encouraged him to be better when he did wrong. I mean, it was a good deal, man. You need a lot of things to be the right way.
Right. So, again, speaking of that with you, let's kind of turn the tide and let's talk about the state of Chicago basketball. Summertime Chicago basketball is huge. You have all these summer league games going on. Some good basketball. Sometimes it's, we kind of question it. You were always a guy that were able to get, again, the diamond in the rough, some of those guys on the outset of the city. But you and me also were those teams and those guys that got the guys from the inner city of Chicago. They kind of boomerang back to us because they went somewhere else. And then they came home. So can you talk about, like, what your feelings about that is, guys that's not trusting the hometown coach, but then they go somewhere and they find out it's a business, and then they have to come back to the guys that were really interested and really care about them, to begin with?
Man, that's such a tough topic. I know we talk about it all the time, and probably when I was in the midst of it, it was really disappointing to see a lot of our homegrown talent, go elsewhere. But with so much going on in the streets of Chicago right now, man, it's so scary, man. man, my heart goes out to my city, man. I love Chicago, and I can understand why guys are trying to get their guys out of the city. Because I mean, just on a daily basis, what they have to go through, going through different neighborhoods just to get to school, and to add to that, there's no guarantee that those guys even coming home at the end of the day. I mean, it's a daily fight. So I can understand from a coach's standpoint, those are your guys, that's your family. I would want better for my guys as well. But a lot of times it's so hard because guys like us, we're there to protect them. We're there with our best interests at heart for those guys, and we want to see them do well. And we got a vested interest because it is our city. And we want to see our guys do better. We want to see our guys graduate. We want to give it to them in the raw, real, 100, uncut, and let them know, man, these guys don't have your best interests at heart, man. They don't want to see you graduate. They want to see you play for them, get them all the accolades in the world, and then they move on to the next guy. And that it was never about that for us. It was always about how many degrees we can get, how many lives we can change. And there's a small clique of guys that are like that. But I hate to say it, man, it's a dirty business. Grind. It's tough, man. It's tough to stay in that business, man. It take a lot out of you. We don't get a lot of pay, a lot of long hours when you do care. A lot of times, kids home. You got to. You don't have any other way to get home. A lot of feeding guys, making sure they eat. They ain't ate all day, and they at the school all day, man. Guys really care about it. I would say, man, test their heart. A lot of good guys out there still doing it that still care about these guys. Be more over there at Olive Harvey, which I know is a tough sell to anybody. But I mean, they care about what you're doing. They care about your kids, and they're gonna try to make sure they get to a 4-year university and get a degree.
Right. And yeah, that's exactly it right there. And if I can just add, you and I both former head college coaches on a junior college level, and we were never blessed to, have all of the benefits of, say, schools in Texas, schools in Florida, Kansas, some of those powerhouse JUCO conferences. And so, I know at City College, my situation was better than yours, just some of the things that you used to tell me. And I used to question, I'm like, man, how are you getting it done with what they're giving you? And I think that kind of goes back to what you mentioned earlier with challenge. And I always say that great coaches are coaches that can make adjustments on the fly. So be it, if you're a coach, if you're a teacher, or if you're in any type of leadership, you have to be able to make adjustments on the fly because you got to be able to change when it's necessary. Yes, and so I'm saying all this to say that when little do people know, you had probably the least amount of scholarships in all of the schools in the Chicagoland area. We were, fortunate enough, we kind of had the bells and whistles. We had a meal plan. We had at Malcolm X, we had a meal plan. We had 15 scholarships. Everything changed the second year, obviously. But we kind of had all those bells and whistles. Now, when I was at Truman, it was, hey, get them in how you can. We're going to give you about 8, and let's make it work. But from a head coach's standpoint, on a junior college level, you really have to be the financial aid advisor, the class schedule advisor, basketball coach, the trainer, the bus driver, the teacher, the tutor, the father figure, the pastor. Like, you have to be all those things in one, and everybody don't see that. And so a lot of times when you really reach out to a kid or to their parents, you're really reaching out from your heart because you understand what it is that you're willing to give to them, as opposed to a school that, and not talking about any school, but if you go to a school, say in Texas, where they have a meal plan, they have dorms, they're giving you your whole paycheck back and everything, that sounds nice, but it's a business to it. And that's, people don't understand that life lesson. The same way, if you go work a job, they make a nice amount of money, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And so if that company is dealing with, a profit or loss, and they get rid of us, they're looking at it from a business side, not so much a personal. And I think that so many parents and basketball players get lost in the whole business side of basketball, and that kind of turns people off to the whole nature of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Especially, if it's here in Chicago or with the smaller colleges, it kind of turns them off because they've dealt with a poor experience. And so now to come home, and I really don't want to be home anyway because of the violence. So, that's a tough situation, So I just think that as head coaches, we had our work cut out for us because we had to be everything, for the players as well as for the school. And we were the face of the school. If something went down, they were talking about Coach Shannon. If something went down, they were talking about Coach Bailey. And so that's very tough, man. It's very tough. But I was able to have a successful season. You won, conference. You all went to the championship game of the Junior College Nationals, correct?
Yep, national runner-up, 2013. Okay.
Now, how often do you watch that game? And I'm gonna ask you that way. How often do you watch that game, or have you even seen it?
Bro, I haven't even watched that game, man. We lost by like 20.
Okay.
I still kick myself right now because every unction in my body told me to hold that ball in that game. And because everybody remember how we played fast, pressed the whole game. And I knew my guys were going to be gassed. We had to play 4 games in 4 days. And I was too soft to pull the trigger. I should have held the ball. I don't know if it would have been a different outcome, but I kick myself about that every day.
Okay. Well, y'all, we always say anyway, no moral victories. Even in life, you can't have no moral victories. But, y'all kind of proved a lot of people wrong, and it's a gratifying experience, but at the end of the day, you want to be to win your last game, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here real quick. I'm gonna throw some questions at you, and then I want to get back to this, Alonzo Ball thing. But when you hear, because I was talking to a client earlier today, when you hear inside out or outside in, how would you prefer to play, inside out or outside in, and then explain why?
Honestly, I would prefer to play inside out, only because it's so many different variables. Guys that double down, the ball movement, better shot selection, high percentage shots. But me saying that is kind of hard because it really depends on my personnel. Because the team we just mentioned played outside in, and we were pretty, effective doing it. So I think it depends on your personnel. But if I had to build my ideal team, it would be 4 little guards like, Jelly and, guys like Carrington Ward, really athletic, but mobile big who can score it in the post like Rashawn Holmes, which is crazy as ever because had I been that cutthroat type of business grimy guy, I would have brought Rashawn Holmes back to play on that 2013 team that lost in the national championship because he left as a freshman. Because it wasn't about our group. It was about the kid. And he had 3 years to play at a D1 school. But we definitely would have won a national championship if Rashawn Holmes was playing in the paint.
I forgot about that because he went to – it wasn't Bowling Green. He went to Bowling Green?
Bowling Green.
Okay.
We had him. We had Michael O'Donnell, who would have been a sophomore. He was supposed to play another year. He ended up going and playing at Southern Miss. So he had 3 years at Southern Miss. He should have been on that team. And also Modestus Macelonis. He ended up playing at UNC Greensboro.
Okay.
They all after their first year, and they should have been back with that group that went to the national title.
So you understood that, you know, and I always say it's bigger than basketball, but you understood that you would help the kid out, and in turn, you're helping the program that you're sending him to, because now they have 3 years to further develop him, and then he has 3 years to kind of grow into himself, which many people that leave junior college go to, you know, after they graduate, then they only have 2 years. And most Division I schools that want a junior college player, they need a quick fix.
Yeah.
So they're trying, you know, so you may not always go to a good program where you're going to win, because they're looking at you specifically to come in and make things happen. And if you don't have no help, well, you go in Division I, but you might not be going to a perfect situation, you know, and I always go back to Buzz Williams told me, you know, about 5 years ago, he said, every job is not a good job. And I had to equate that to life, you know, no matter what. Like you said when we first started, you're doing something now that you really don't want to be doing, you know, but at times we have to do what we have to do. But you have to understand that every job is not a good job. You know, every situation is not a good situation just because you're in that situation, you know. And so, but the other thing that stands out with that, this kid had to be a great student, coach, because if he left after his first year, it means he was a qualifier, right?
29 ACT, baby.
Okay.
3.8 GPA, 29 ACT. Nobody recruited him. Matter of fact, I think old school, got to give a shout out to old school, because he was the one that helped me find the kid. I didn't know anything about the kid, man. I called school. I said, school, I need some players. He said, man, I got the guy for you. I called him. Man, I ain't even see the kid play, and I offered him on the phone.
Wow.
Because I trust school that much.
Now, that goes back to relationships. You know, and I was talking to a principal the other day, you know, because of what, you know, with my program, you know, and we do our, you know, after school programs with Bless the Ball, but us as adults make things so difficult, and all that we really have to do is form relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, so based on your relationship with a good friend of both of ours, because old school, shout out to him, took my cousin, Jerron Lee, from Marshall, and he went to Southeastern. Is in the record books for the most three-pointers made in the national tournament, right? School took a chance on him and said, I'm gonna take you with me. So now, school has been very beneficial in both of our lives. But and that's the business aspect of just life. Sometimes we can get on the phone based on a relationship, and people will do things for us, or we can do things for people. But now we're talking about a young man that is in the NBA now, whose life was changed probably by someone that he didn't even know that was connected with the decision to get him to you. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's big. You know, when you look at it and you talk about like 6 degrees separation, even though he may have known school, you know, and this is the business side too that I tell everybody, right? We're talking life and basketball. If you're good, coach will find you. But you're not coming in the gym. I'm not walking in the gym. No coach looking at this broadcast is walking in the gym just looking at skill level. You know, I was reffing the other day, and I know that you ref too. You know, it's funny because our lives have kind of mirrored each other for a long time, you know. And so I was talking to a kid the other day, and like he had a terrible attitude. And, you know, his mom was doing a scorebook, and, you know, his daddy was coaching, you know, and I'm talking to him, like, if you really as good as you think you are, let your game talk, you know, and then you let your coach be your advocate. I didn't know at that time that he was, you know, that those were his parents. But players don't understand that, and I told them, when coaches walk in the gym, we looking at how you sitting on the bench. We're looking at how you walk in the gym. if you got your hat broke off, you got your pants down, you cursing, like everything that you do in life, you're marketing yourself because you are your own brand. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
everything that we do, you're being judged and you're being looked at, and you never know who's watching you. So now somebody like old school who saw Holmes can pick up the phone and say, hey, this kid is good. You need to get him. Now you get on the phone just on the strength of old school. Hey, I'm going to give you a scholarship, and now the kid is in the NBA. I mean, it's amazing how God works, but, just how things pan out. And I think a lot of times we take for granted, well, my high school coach didn't do this, or my college coach didn't do this. But then also, you talked about challenges. You have to be prepared for the opportunity. And I want you to touch on this. Being prepared for the opportunity when it comes, because when you all went to the national championship, and I don't just want to stick on that national championship because, you and I have had some hard-nosed games, be it when I was at South Suburban on their staff or when I was at Truman or Malcolm X. We've had some hard-nosed games. I've seen you in some very clutch games, but I know that, because I would be at work, be talking to you, man, I'm watching film at work, you'll be doing the same thing. The preparation about being great, like, can you talk about, and, I know now you preach and God has kind of called you in that direction also. But can you just talk about the importance of preparation in life as well as basketball?
Ironically, I'm going to use this example, and people probably think I'm crazy because they think I'm crazy anyway, but I got a 7-year-old, and he told me, I introduced him to basketball when he was 3 years old. He'd been playing and messing around, for some years now, but the first year he played last year was his first year of travel ball. And we played him up 3rd and 4th grade, and he struggled. He wasn't quite ready for it, but he didn't want to put the work in, and so on and so forth. So I told him, hey man, if you want to be great, you got to work at it. So he decided, man, hey, I want to work at it. So we're in the gym today, and he does swimming at 11 o'clock, and then we do a little workout for about an hour at 12. And he was in there, and he bawling real tears, crying face off. And I'm telling him, get back on the line, let's go. The minute you tell me you don't want to play, we don't have to do it. But if you're telling me you want to be great, you got to do it when you don't feel like doing it. And that's the lesson he had to learn today. And tears, I had parents walking in and out, and, they probably think I'm crazy, he crying, and what? Man, that don't move me. That don't move me at all. You got to learn to communicate. You got to learn to use your words to communicate what's going on with you, but we ain't quitting. And I don't care how much you cry. We'll be here all night. And I just think that, relates to our society, period, man. We just give all these kids a bed. We make things easy for them. You were just speaking to those parents and, tell them how great they are. No, you're not great. We got to work at it. We got to get out here and work. Everybody out here doing what you're doing. Everybody playing in these games when ain't nobody watching what you're doing.
Right.
How great are you? Nobody watch. How many shots you taking when ain't nobody watching? And I'm talking about mom, dad. I'm just everybody. What are you doing behind closed doors? It's
exactly.
all gonna come to the. It's always gonna come to the light. You got to be working. You got to be working at it. When guys out partying, when guys out kicking, you got to be working. And that's something that I think even at 7 he can learn. You can call me crazy all you want to, because I remember doing it to my oldest boy. Same thing at St. Calabanis when they played. We travel all the way halfway across the world for you to play basketball, and you don't want to play? Oh, no, you're going to play, and you're going to play hard, or we're going to have a problem, period.
Yeah. Hey, and I mean, Monty has improved so much, and I think that he's learned from his older brother. Obviously, he's been in the gym his whole life. But to he was always, to me, the shy type. And I mean, he a hell of a tailback, right? Like, that's what, like playing flag football, wasn't nobody able to catch him. But me just watching what he's doing now, he's improved so much. And that's because he like want to do it. And I tell parents all the time, even with bless the ball, you really can't live through your child. You know, you have to, especially young. You know, I don't really, you know, again, you know, we breaking the mold of stereotypes and all that. I don't believe in ranking kids in 7, 8, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. Like that gets them here. You know, maybe I'm wrong, and I tell any player that has played for me, no, I've never told a player that they were good. Never. I would tell a player that they've done something good. Well, that was nice, but I've never said, man, you cold. Like, until you stop playing for me, I will tell you that.
Yeah.
But the minute that we get comfortable, that's when game over. You know, and I mean, that's in life. The minute that we get comfortable with where we're at in life, we kind of done for. You know, because and I'm saying that, and the picture that I'm getting in my head is when the guy was beating Michael Phelps. And when he looked up, and that's still pictures that they took, when he got comfortable, but he looked up to see what Michael Phelps was, and Michael Phelps had laser focus. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he like, I'm going past you because in track, they always say, never look back. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look back, they're going to catch you. And that's what happens sometimes. People are comfortable, and they want to sit back, they want to look back, and then they get passed by, you know, and I think that that's very huge in, you know, in life. But, you know, I definitely want to say, because I know that you did grab a copy of my greatest accomplishment in life thus far, you know, other than, you know, being a great husband and a great father, great son. You know, you did grab the book. I definitely appreciate your support. You know, you didn't ask me, you didn't say, hey, you know, KB, you know, hey, can I get a discount? You know, you know, from the day that the book went live, you hit me and actually said, I'm on your website trying to get the book, but it's not letting me. You didn't even, you know what I'm saying? That was the first, you had already went to go try to get it. And then I told you the link, and then you went and got it done. I'm not sure if you have finished it or not, but what interests you, or what did you grab from anything out of the book?
Man, I'm about halfway through, man. My work day's been kind of crazy, but I mean, just the title in itself and the title of your session, man, just life through basketball, man. Just I mean, we learn so much through playing basketball with our lives. Like I said, just the challenges that we face, the never quit attitude, getting after it. You know, you always want that guy in the trenches that's gonna go to war with you. Just go back to back. If it ain't but two of us, we're gonna get it in. And I think that's kind of how our friendship is based, which is why, like you said, when the book got out, ain't no questions asked, man. We support, we encourage each other. We always have, we always will. Even if we're on separate sidelines, man, you're my brother all day long. I'm going to do whatever I can to support you. You hit me with this right away, like, yeah, I'm there. Whatever you need from me. I think our relationship, what you has always been built on that. It's hard to find solid brothers out here. Anybody that's out there, bless them. You're definitely gonna teach your kid basketball, teach your life. You need it. You need him. You need Carvel Bailey. You gotta have it. Be serious about it.
Well, I definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate it. The last question on the hot seat. And you know, again, I don't want to call it controversial, but I'm trying to break the mold, the stereotype that we can't work with each other. You know, that, you know, people in the same fields, or especially, you know, black brothers, and it's a stereotype for Chicago people, you know, that we can't really work with each other when we're doing the same thing, because we're so used to competing, and we don't really know how to collaborate with each other, and, you know, to be able to affect more lives and get more things done, because basketball is entertainment. Like, for those that get it twisted. Basketball is entertainment. It is, you know, it was a livelihood of my family for a long time, still is with my company, the livelihood, you know, for your family for a long time, you know, because you're in Oklahoma now, right? For the people that don't know, you know, so, and that was kind of based on basketball. So, you know, we've given up a lot of things for basketball. And so a lot of times we have to compete in order to get what we want. And we fail to be able to understand that we can also collaborate to be able to get many more things done. So, and I guess now I got two questions, because now that I got into that, I want to ask, what's your opinion about that collaboration versus competing? And then I'm going to give you my last question.
Man, you hit it on the head, man. It's painful for me to even say this, man, but that crabs in the barrel mentality is bad, bro. This business, tough enough as it is for any of us, you know, to break in. And, you know, when we pulling each other down, you know, trying to fight to get to the top, man, it's just not a good look, bro. That's honestly one of the reasons why I'm kind of laying back right now, just because I got to work for good people, man. I got to work for people who got the kids' best interest in heart. You know, that they care about these kids. They want to see them graduate. They want to see them get their degree, because it's bigger than basketball. You know, I said forever, man, eventually the ball going to stop bouncing. And when it stops bouncing, you look around and the gym empty, ain't nobody cheering, ain't nobody calling your name. What are you going to do? You know, and we have to, it's our goal, we have to be held accountable to make sure that these kids going to be all right when the ball stops bouncing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now my last question to you. My last question. What has been the most enjoyable? All right. I was gonna say challenging, but I want to end my last question on a good note. What's been the most enjoyable thing about basketball in Chicago that a lot of people just don't know about? Like what makes you proud to say that you're from Chicago and that you have endeared and dealt with Chicago basketball?
Man, I'm proud of relationships. I'm proud of, you know, like you, man. Got to know some great people like you, my main guy, Jelani Boline,
Bo.
DeMarco, man. I can tell you so many guys, man. I tell people all the time, basketball is such a small fraternity. The real dudes, anyway, it's such a small fraternity. And it's honestly, I know you said good, but it's painful to see guys like that not get an opportunity. You know, Jelani's been trying forever, as long as I know him, to get in, and hasn't been able to, man. And it's discouraging, man, to see guys like that not be able to help the kids that really care about the kids. You know, that's my ace. You know, like you being out of the game for as long as you have. Like I can't understand that. But you know, I know God got us at the end of the day, and that's the biggest foundation. You know, we just in a holding pattern right now, and He holding us so that we can help grow up and blow up the rest of the people that need to go when it's time. So when the time is right, I know it's gonna happen. And I appreciate the love. I appreciate the relationships. I appreciate the family. When I come home, there's always love. And even, you know, distance. You know, the relationships last over distance. I still talk to Bo. I still talk to you. You know, and that's the real stuff. We ain't coaching now, but we still guys. We still people. You know, good people. We still trying to encourage. We still trying to help people.
Right, and you know, you and I joke about it, man. You know, we say that when, I'm not gonna say if, when the right job come along, it's gonna be lookout world.
Yes, sir. In that order.
Because once we, you know, because once we get ready to put it down, you know, it's gonna be curtains. And I mean, that's you know, I mean, I've been blessed with great relationships. You know, Blessed the Ball is doing great. You know, it's a sponsor of our show. You know, so any coaches, any business owners that would like to sponsorship this show, get your business, um, mentioned on the show several times. We're going to take this now, season 2, wide and long. It'll be many people, to be able to see it, get to know information about your business. So, if you care to sponsor a segment of the show, please let me know. Get in contact with me and we can take care of you. Today, obviously, it's being sponsored by Bless the Ball. We've been blessed to do a great job, not only with our, skill development coaching, individual things, but also just, now with our after school programs, being school vendors, getting out, being able to touch other people's lives. And so even though I'm not necessarily standing on the sideline coaching, it's great to be able to still be in the midst of basketball. But hey, I say if that right job do come along, I already got a few guys that I know, and I'm pretty sure there's a few guys that I know if they get a job, I'm gonna get that call. And it's about changing people's lives, but also showing people really how it should be done. The real way how it should be done. Like you said, it's a small fraternity of guys doing the right things. It's a lot of people out here that may not be doing things that we would think is favorable. They may think is favorable, but iron sharpens iron. And if we don't help each other, or if we don't have our hand out to be able to receive help, then we're not, improving ourselves individually. And I say that the reason I had you on the show first, and there was a lot of people I was thinking about having on the show, but in life in basketball, Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'd be at 6 o'clock. The reason why I had you on the show first, because what many people don't understand, when I stopped coaching, I would get a call from you probably every week, just to check on me. You know what I'm saying? B, you good, you straight, and even though once I left and I was able to pursue my master's, but I wasn't ready to leave, but the way things happened was like, okay, hey, it's time for me to leave. I see where y'all going, so I'm gonna step away. But you've always been real. Always checked on me. Like I said, with the book got at me. But what most people don't understand, man, is you challenged me. You challenged me about a year ago and said, when you gonna start that blog? Remember that?
Yes, sir.
You challenged me and said, it's time that you do a blog because you got a lot of information that people need to hear. And I was like, D is coming. And then you asked me for the second time, and you was like, B, what's up with the blog? And I can personally say, you tagged me in a whole lot of stuff. I'm kind of zoned with Facebook right now because I'm doing, with Bless the Ball and my financial education and everything. When them notifications be coming in, ding, 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 ding. I might be like, okay, look, turn off notifications because they coming. But the second time you asked me, I said, D, I got something better in store. And I was actually at that point working on my book. And I didn't tell nobody until I posted it on Facebook. But I said, rather than do a blog, I'm going to write a book. Because, really up until maybe 2 months ago, I really had no idea what a blog was. I knew about it. When I thought of blog, I thought about people on the news, they be, the race baiters and all that. And I'm like, man, I ain't getting into all that. Be arguing with nobody based on my opinion. So I'm going to put it in the book. And what people don't know, I had a, buddy, shout out to my man, Evan Jefferson, ERGJ, do great things. He kind of put the whole mindset about let's do a show. You should do a show and kind of pattern it after your book. And it made a hell of a lot of sense, but you wanted me to do the blog. I haven't got to the blog yet, but I said I'm gonna do the book. Now I'm doing the show, and as I said, this season, the first time I did the show, I did 8 episodes because I got 8 chapters in the book. Well, now we're gonna go Tuesday and Thursday. I'm probably do about 16 to 24 shows, and it's gonna be different every show but it's going to kind of be this format because I want to deal with guys that I know that have meant a lot to the game of basketball and to me. And people need to hear this story, and we need to have this dialect, because rather than us just having it in small groups, secret groups, hey, let's get it out, man. Let's do some good things with basketball because after all, it's the vehicle that we chose to use to help us in life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now, before I let you go, let's talk about the Alonzo Ball stuff real quick, man. What you think is taking place with no. What do you think is taking place with him with this shoe thing?
Man, people gonna think I'm crazy again, but man, I'm riding with Lonzo, man. I'm riding with LeVar. Been saying it since day one. Man, we need to have our own stuff. Period. I mean, if you're not growing up to get your own, man, you need to be able to make your own schedule. You need to be able to make your own money. You need to not be able to have to answer to anybody. And we need to start thinking like that. I think people crazy. I heard a bunch of my buddies say, like, man, you got to be crazy turning down $10 million. Why would you worth $100 million?
Right.
Man, you got to see the vision, but that's the problem. Our kings, we don't know we kings. We got to see the vision. Sometimes we need people to pump into us and get us to understand that, man, you worth that, bro. You worth more than what you getting paid. But you got to have that vision, man, or as you said earlier, tunnel vision. We don't have that tunnel vision, man. We just think, inside our little area, man, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Man, we got families out here handing down $10, $20 million to the next generation. And you think you're going to work for somebody the rest of your life and hand that down? No, bro. I ride with Buddy, man. I see exactly what he's doing. He's keeping his name in the media. He's staying relevant. It all makes sense. That's what they do every day in the media. Trump ain't been off the TV ever. Every day I go to work, man, that's all they play on TV all day is Trump. That's all he creates. He creating the market for his kids to be marketed. Nobody talking about De'Aaron Fox. Nobody talking about Dennis Smith. They're not talking about
no.
They're talking about Lonzo Ball, crazy daddy. But Lonzo not crazy. They never talking about Lonzo. They talking about his dad.
Right.
So,
and the good thing about it, man, is that like he prepared for that opportunity. It's a different thing if he laying goose eggs. Like I lost a lot of respect for Deladome talking about I hope his shoe blow out. You know what I'm saying? And he should have signed with Nike. Everybody ragged on him. It was his first game. His first game. People don't understand. Kobe Bryant shot 3 air balls in a row.
When he should have.
You know what I'm saying?
Jones.
3 air balls in a row. Eddie's sitting wide open. And at that point, Eddie Jones was the man.
Yeah.
Kobe shot 3 air balls in a row. And people ragged on him. And he's one of the greatest to ever play now. But that was his first playoff series. Yeah. This was Alonzo Ball's first NBA game, summer league or not. Like I know, there are times, and having a guy like Magic that leads that organization, Magic want to win every game.
Every game.
It don't matter if it's summer league, if it's a Nerf game. He wants to win. So it's this dude's first game, and he don't play well. Again, the business. He has to get used to the speed, the size, the tempo, everything. And so he didn't have a good game. But then they flipped it, and this is what we talk about, making adjustments in life. And they probably had this whole deal set forth anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're going to just see and play it out. But I think it's ingenious. So now he come back the next game, have a great game, and then he flip it, and okay, I'm going to wear some Nikes. Now I'm going to wear some Adidas. Now everybody's starting to pay attention to what he's doing or what he's not doing. And now they offering him millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I mean, awesome. Awesome, man. But I see you got your stunner shades on. You in the midst of moving around. I definitely want to say thank you, man, for coming on the first show, season 2, blessing us with your knowledge, your expertise, your wisdom. I definitely thank you, man. And as I said, you always welcome, brother. Anything that I do. And I hope that I was able to get some people to know more about Dietrich, Coach D. Shannon, as a man, but also as a coach, and just the knowledge that he has, the sincerity that he has, and any last word that you got, or just a piece,
Yes,
man.
sir.
He's doing great.
Need to see. If you ain't been there, you got to get there. I need to see him on the show. I want to see you and Willie at it. I got to see Willie Harris in the hot seat. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Will definitely do. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. All right.
All right.
All right, my people. So, season 2, episode 1 in the books. Again, before I let everybody go, this show is being brought to you by Bless the Ball Skill Development Academy. We are year-round skill development academy where we work on your mental, physical, social, emotional, psychological, spiritual self. And we use the game of basketball to do it. All right, I dropped the link. If you have not purchased your book, Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball, great leadership book. Great leadership book. Great book to get you to understand some of the things that me and Coach D talked about that kind of goes on in the life of a coach, but also what goes on in the life of a leader. How do you build leaders? How do you get leadership? Things that you need to start to implement in your life to be a better leader, to be a great leader, or pass it down to those that may play sports so that they can understand their leaders better. So that now they're not complaining and getting, the parents or whoever saying, hey, this coach is being unfair to me. You'll kind of understand what's going on. So with that, I want to thank everybody. If there's any questions, I will take a couple of questions before we finish. But so if anybody have any questions, please type them in now. I know some people have been making comments. James, I definitely appreciate you with all the interaction. JB, definitely. Gino, definitely appreciate you guys. I know Janelle chimed in. I know he's very passionate. I'm gonna get him on the show when he feels that he ready to get it done. But if there's any questions, please type them in. Otherwise, it's been a great show, man. And trust me, climb for the top. It's crowded at the bottom. All right. Till Thursday, 6 p.m. Invite somebody. Be on. You never know who the guest is. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.